Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. How is everybody doing? Today we're going to talk about communication, the communication tools that we have available to us, and what's the most productive way to implement them. Hello. I'm Paola Guillon. I'm a wellness consultant, success coach, and professional tango dancer in Austin, Texas. And I just got back from a fantastic week of investing in myself, working on myself, and bringing back a lot of things I'm really excited to share. One thing that comes up with my clients on a regular basis, and it did come up last week also as an item during my convention, is how do we communicate? What's the best way to connect through those communication tools? And last but not least, still having a life. Because we love those phones and we love the fact that they are making our life easier and supposedly they help us connect, they can also have the exact opposite effect. So I like to break it down in a few different ways. A, when are you available to be reached and when are you not? So personally, from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m., my phone rings. After that, goodbye. There is absolutely no way you're going to catch me. My phone has a setting, it's already in there, I don't have to remember to do it, I don't have to do anything. From 8 p.m. until 7 a.m., unless you're on my favorite list, and my favorite list is my dad, my best friend, my inner circle, my closest circle. Unless you're on that list, my phone will not ring. It won't beep, it won't do that, it doesn't do anything, my phone is out. I can check my phone, I'm going to get my messages, but otherwise it's not going to budge. It's like from 8 p.m. until 7 a.m., this is my time. This is my private time. I don't get phone calls, I don't get work calls. And that is something that's a boundary I've put in place. That is something that my friends know about, my clients know about. Like, unless you have an emergency and somebody is about to die, call the police. Because I'm not available, I am not in a line of work that is requiring me to pick up the phone at 10:30 at night and give anyone an answer that is going to be a life-changing issue. I am not in security, I am not an emergency responder. We need to set boundaries for our private life. It is essential, and no pun intended, but it is essential to really have those limits and that time for us and that time for the people in our lives. It's really important. And I know it's really hard because we have that phone that is just going to beep. I had people that sent me business text at 10:30 at night. It's like, well, that's great, but hopefully you're not expecting me to answer because I'm not going to. The other thing we do that is a great tool as well is emailing. So we love emails. Emails can become, and that's something I get a lot too, it's like, Paola, how do I manage my email communication? We need to work on being able to send emails fast and effectively. So there are ways to write an email that's going to be quick, to the point, we can break it down, and you don't spend half an hour building an email. An email is like 5 to 10 minutes, that's just send it. If it's a struggle, I invite you to look into strategies to how to send an email effectively. And there is a breakdown for it. So how to send an email fast, because that's going to be a time-sucking item. Also, when to reply to an email and when to not reply to an email. Email threads, oh my God, email threads. So people know, unless I am 100% involved in every single email that's being sent to me, I don't want to see it. I am involved in organizations, I am on boards, and I love it. That being said, if the email I'm getting is not relevant to me, my department, and my involvement at 100%, I'm going to start reading them, and people are going to know about that. It's like, I'm not reading it. Or they're going to know that, okay, I'm drawing a line right here that does not involve me. Can you please, take me out, just take my name out. It is not relevant to me. Because those emails are going to suck the life out of you. That is the #1 top struggle for professionals, especially entrepreneurs. We spend way too much time on emails and there is no reason for it. There is absolutely no reason for that. So it's a matter of boundaries, A, how to send the emails effectively and quickly, 2, how to communicate with others and letting them know that, okay, I love that you're sending me that information, but being able to help them appreciate this is what's helpful to me and this is what is really not relevant to me. Can we please narrow it down to what's relevant to me? Thank you. Always thank you. We want to be grateful. If after 3 emails we still don't have a resolution, if there is an email conversation and after 3 emails somebody sends you an email, you send them an email back, you send them an email back again, and you still don't have a clear idea of what's going on, pick up the phone. Seriously, just talk to people. Because that email, there is obviously miscommunication, there is obviously something that is not taking place. The outcome is not what we're looking for. If within a 3 exchange email there is still no resolution, no confirmation, no affirmation of what we're trying to accomplish, pick up the phone. That thing that we use for pretty much anything but talking the majority of the time. Just pick up the phone and it's going to be 5 minutes, very quickly. Hey, I just wanted to touch base with you. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. This is what I'm understanding. Is this what you're understanding? Yes, no. Okay, great. And that's 5 minutes. It's not a half-hour conversation either. We don't need to spend half an hour on the phone to talk about something. It's 5 minutes. It's just a matter of being productive. And that's training. I know I'm unloading a lot of information on you right now. It is a training for every single one of those modalities. It is a training that we put ourselves through. I put myself through it. And I am so grateful I did it because I'm saving so much time and frustration. I'm so much more productive. People are wondering, how come you get so much done? Communication and how to use the tools that we have at our disposal to be the most effective. Texting, let's talk about texting. So, texting is fantastic, life-changing item. I absolutely adore texting. I text more than I email or talk on the phone by far. That being said, texting is something that's more personal. I am not feeling connected. Let me rephrase that. I prefer to receive, for example, deals, invitations, that kind of thing through a Facebook invitation or through an email invitation. If I get a deal on a text, I'm turned off, personally. I know for some people it works, but I'm personally turned off because the text is something that there is a sense of urgency. We want something that is going to be effective, that's going to be taking less time than a phone call. So receiving deals, that's what the email box is for. That's what my mailbox is for. Facebook pages, invitations, that's what they're for. Personally, getting deals on a text is a turn off for me. So anyone, if you know me, just don't send me deals on the text. It's just I won't answer and I will not buy because it doesn't work for me. So text is about something that's more personal, it's quick, it's short. A paragraph on a text, send an email, or again, a phone call. So unless it's going to be short and sweet and effective and maybe personal. I love using text for gratitude, morning gratitudes, affirmations. This is fantastic. Those little emojis, send a heart to somebody you care about. Texting is great for that. If it's more than 3 sentences, there is a need for an email or there is a need for a phone call. If I see threads, I'll have conversations with clients and it's like, well, she texted me this and he texted me that and she texted me this and she texted, wait a minute. You mean you didn't pick up the phone to talk to them? No, pick up the phone. Talk to them. Let's take it a notch above. If the phone call is a little too impersonal, which for some occasions and for some hard conversations, a phone call may not even be the best format. Talk to them in person. Like set up a coffee talk. Talk to them in person. Something that we went over at convention last week and something that I'm really very precise about is, at the end of the day, all those fantastic tools, their number one goal, supposedly, is to help us connect and be closer to each other instead of filling up those mailboxes and giving us a sense of false connection, validation, egotistical busyness that leads to nothing. It leads to nothing. It's frustrating. It just Busy's our day. When I say busy, the Chinese call, the translation for busy in Chinese is kill the heart. We're killing our heart just adding stuff to our list or making ourselves busy doing stuff that don't lead to really anything at all. So texting is fantastic. Let's just be aware of within 3 texts, same thing than emails, within 3 texts, am I getting the result that I'm looking for? Now, if you're in, the honeymoon phase and you want to text hearts all day long, just go for it. That aside from that, let's be effective and let's be also respectful of other people's time and energy. We are getting addicted to that immediate validation of, oh, I got a text, so, I exist, I'm important. We have less friends today than people did 20 years ago. That is profoundly worrisome. We have 1.2 friends per average. Friends as in somebody that you can pour your heart to, somebody that you can tell anything. We have 1.2 today compared to 20 years when people had 3.8 on average. So I know there are digits. But that's the field, that is the state of our culture in the United States right now, that we don't even have people we can profoundly connect to. And yes, the tools are there and it would be easy to just blame the tools for it. Let's own our crap. We fell into it and we're using them in a way that is just too easy. And we need to own that. I feel we need to own that we're using those tools in a way that is not the most connecting. Yes, it's hard to connect to people. I'm an introvert. I had to train myself to have those conversations in person, to have those conversations through emails. I've trained myself for years to get to the point that, okay, we can connect and we can have a meaningful relationship, professional or personal. And I still see those things happen. It's like, I got an invitation for coffee through a mailing list. Somebody invited me to have, hey, let's connect and see how we can professionally connect. I'm all for it, but it wasn't an email. It was a newsletter. So my email had been taken, it's illegal, and put on a newsletter mailing list, and it had been generated by a machine so that it's supposed to make me want to have coffee and connect as a person. No, I unsubscribed and I'm not going to have coffee with that person until I receive an invitation that is showing me that, yeah, I want to connect with you as a person and not as one more name on my mailing list. It's just not going to work for me. I prefer genuine human connections. So I hope it wasn't too much. Just take one item at a time. It's a big rule of mine when it comes to my clients, when it comes to my wellness programs. Just pick one item, whichever one you want, and see if that's something that you would like to improve on or something you want to research. If you have any question, please contact me. I'm always happy to hear from you. And then give me some feedback. What have been things that worked for you or things that didn't work for you? It's like, hey, Paula, I tried to set boundaries and I got a lot of rejection and I got a lot of resistance from people. How can I word it in a way that people respect my time and they still feel appreciated and they still feel that I care about them? By the way, little trivia, France last year made it illegal for owners, business owners, bosses, managers to request of their employees to communicate off the clock. Yeah. It's illegal in France for employees to be requested of having any communication whatsoever that is related to work outside their work hours. And that is something that we forget to do. We want, and especially as entrepreneurs, again, it's really hard for us because those are 18-hour days that we want to really jam as much stuff as possible so we can be successful. That's a tough one. That being said, we need to put boundaries in place. We need to have our own space and really compartmentalize our lives so we can have harmony and we can make the best of everything we've got. I really encourage you to look into it. So again, if you have any questions, any comments, please put them below. The video also are available on YouTube, so look for it. And if there is anything you would like me to touch base on, I'd be happy to talk about it. but you need to ask first. So anyway, until next week, reach for the greatest version of yourself. Have a great one. Bye-bye.